Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is having a great weekend. We're about to get started. I am Countertop Commander, and I play basically just all Commander. That's all I do is from when it comes to Magic the Gathering. That's all I play anymore. So, I stream about twice a week, and this is the first stream of the week, which will be basically I just do beginner decks. I don't do anything no generally no extra special shenanigans or stuff. We're just looking to play some creatures and smash them together, basically. So in front of me today we have a demon tribal deck, goblins, or sorry, I should say goblin deck, an elf deck, and a soldier deck. So we're just going to jump right into it. But if you have any questions, do please just drop me the question in chat, and we can stop and take a moment to evaluate it and discuss what the question is, and as best as I can help answer it. I've been playing Magic for quite some time, so I don't know everything, but I've been through a lot. So when we're starting with this demon tribal deck, we have Villas, the Broker of Blood, as our commander, and our hand is terribly slow. But part of the reason I kept it was mainly because of this card right here, Archfiend of Depravity. It should help us rein in some of the other decks, because the other decks are, well, it's goblins and elves, so they're probably going to have a lot of creatures out, and Archfiend of Depravity helps keep that down just every turn, or helps mitigate that a little bit. So let's go ahead and see. And we started with 3 lands, although apparently we're just going to draw every 5-cost card in the deck. So hopefully we draw a couple more lands, but that's still going to be a little slow, so hopefully we don't die before before turn 5, and we can try to lock people down a little bit, rein them in, because yeah, we're definitely going to see some goblin-y action here with Krinko, 10th Street Kingpin. There's obviously more powerful goblins, but we're sticking with that just to make it not too overpowered. Sulfuric Vortex, nice. Okay, well, we're definitely going to start out with Quest for the Goblin Lord, because it's going to easily boost some of what's going on with this deck. So we'll go ahead and leave that as it be. Let's see. So Elves is our next deck up to bat, and they will also be going a little crazy. We have an elf in hand, but we really are keying in on this Door of Destinies, which will make all of our elves a lot stronger really, really rapidly. So we should be able to get that out pretty quickly, especially when we get more elves out. So let's go ahead and start with our first. So we'll probably just hang off on playing any more elves until we get the Door of Destinies online, which should be pretty shortly. Only a couple short turns. Now, the soldier deck is going to be a little on the slower side, but still kind of a weenies deck. So we're going to, let's see, we're going to try to hang on the 2 lands that we drew, and I'm kind of hoping that we draw some more lands so we can start playing some other stuff. But we're really trying to take advantage of Audric's ability to give everything that we control all of the abilities, basically. And thankfully, we did draw planes, so at least we can sort of start doing so. We have some cards in hand, so we can start doing some things with it very slowly. But if we're able to get some creatures with mana costs, like good mana costs in them, then Nykthos Shrine to Nyx will power out our mana really, really, really well. So not a 5-cost card, that would be nice. Okay, at 2 costs, that's fine. I mean, still not great, but at least it's something, I guess. It'll especially help with, let's see, it'll help a lot with the Obnixilis of the Black Oath that we have in our hand when we get there. But let's go and play the Bloodghast, because we can start getting in like 2 points of damage, which isn't a lot, but it'll start adding up pretty quickly. Not as quickly as the goblins, mind you, but we will. Oh, Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Let's go ahead and... I think we want to go ahead and play a goblin here. We haven't drawn any lands, but if we don't draw a land next turn, then what we'll do is we have some card draw in our hand to work with that, so... yeah, Goblin Diplomats. We do get a counter on our Quest for the Goblin Lord. So ideally here, we will draw a third land next turn, which will give us the ability to play Krinko. And it'll start bringing us dangerously close to Quest for the Goblin Lord. Because then the turn 4, we can play Goblin Matron and dig up a bunch of goblins that we really want, and then Krinko will get that. We'll be able to get that boost really quickly with Krinko and everything. So I think it'll immediately, if we do draw our third land next turn, then I think we're activating, we're powering up Quest for the Goblin Lord fully, and Krinko will start attacking with greater power. Another forest. Not great, but that's okay. We're not looking to do anything quite yet, but we do need... We have 4 more lands in hand, so we really want to see another land here soon. Soldiers. Oh, nice. Another plains. So now we'll have enough mana to play Audric, which will be great. Yeah. That should be really good. And we're really trying to get up to Mind's Eye so that we can start drawing cards pretty rapidly, because every other deck will have a lot of card draw, or has the potential for a large card draw, whereas Mono White, not quite as much, but Mind's Eye definitely helps get us there if we need to. Swamp. Okay, that's better. We're 1 mana off from being able to get what we need. Actually, I guess we want to do this. We'll attack for 2. I guess against the goblins, because that makes the most sense. So we'll attack for 2 damage against the goblins. They'll probably take it. They don't really need to worry too much about it right now. So then second main, we'll play this swamp. And pass. Passe. Let's look here. So, untap, draw. Land, please? No, not a land. I mean, Bloodmark Mentor is one that we really want. So, there is that, but we do need... Let's go and do Faithless Looting so that we can see where we're at. So we'll draw 2, then discard 2. Oh my gosh. So, let's see. I think Tormenting Voice is one of the ones that we're going to get rid of. And let's see. I think, man, I really don't want to get rid of Goblin Matron because it sets up so much, and Sulfuric Vortex could be really good. That's really my long-term game plan is Sulfuric Vortex. Let me think. Mog War Marshal is the one that we want to play this turn, so we're not going to discard that. We have a land, so we don't want to discard that. Bloodmark Mentor is going to give a lot of our creatures longevity, because they'll be able to attack into things they have no right to be able to get through. Let's go and get rid of Mizium Mortars. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. That may be a wrong decision, but who knows. So we'll tap 2. We'll go and Mog War Marshal, so when it comes into the battlefield or dies, then we get a Goblin token, so we're actually going to pop this up 2, which means next turn we will have a fully powered Krinko, basically. The Goblin Matron should help us out, though. Getting more goblins that we need, basically. Okay. So the elves are going to go with... Oh my gosh, Elvish Archdruid. Heck yes. So we're going to use this to untap a forest, retap it. We'll play Door of Destinies, and next turn is going to begin the chaos. And yes, that Door of Destinies does have some scribbles on it. It was from a gift exchange a number of years ago. I mean, this one, let's see. It says 17, so that shows you how long ago the gift exchange was. Soldiers, what are you doing? Something useful, I hope. Just a planes. Okay, well, sorta. Well, let's go ahead and Palace Guard so we can block any number of creatures if we need to. Not like that's going to help. I mean, it's basically just a single turn fog unless we can get a creature with indestructibility and also Audric out. Then it will matter. Then we'll have permanent defense until somebody is able to kill it. I mean, kill it outside of battle, basically. Oh my gosh, Dark Ritual? Seriously? That's amazing. Okay. So we do want to play a land, but we have to think about what we want to play. So... especially because we could be getting Villas out very shortly. It doesn't seem quite what we want. I don't think we want to necessarily use the Dark Ritual right this second, because we're so close to getting Villas out using it. So I'm going to go and just attack for 2 damage at the elves, because the elves deserve it. Icky, yucky elves. They're not really that icky or yucky. Just kidding. Okay. So goblins are going to untap during our upkeep. We're going to sacrifice Mog War Marshal because we're not going to pay its echo cost, which means we get another goblin, and it'll pop this up to 4. And we will draw a card. Goblin King. So good. Another power boost. So we will pay 3, and we're going to play Krinko. That brings us up to 5, which means as long as I have 5 or more counters on it, creatures we control get +2/+0. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with my 4 damage Goblin Diplomats. And actually, do we want to do that? No, we don't want to do that. Well, let me think about this. Yeah, we're going to attack with 2 different elves because we're going to be able to untap next. No, wait. We don't want to attack with that because we need to be able to force creatures to attack. Let me think. That is a good question. Hang on a second. Okay, so yeah, we can't... Let's see. Yeah, so you have to enter it. Okay. So yeah, we do want to... We want to force attacks if we can. So... let's go and attack with 1 goblin, and we are going to... Let me switch it, because these 2 came into play this turn, so they can't attack. This goblin was out before, so we're going to swing for 3 damage at the elves, because they are our mortal enemy, and we need to take them out as soon as possible. Or else they'll crush us, because we're just tiny, defenseless little goblins. The elves aren't really having any of that, by the way. Untap. Untap. Upkeep. Let's see. Actually, during the upkeep, let's go ahead and tap Goblin Diplomat. And force all of the creatures... No, wait, because they could be playing creatures. Let me think about this. I guess actually there's a pretty good chance the goblins thinking about this. There's a pretty good chance Goblin Diplomats will only be forcing Arbor Elf to attack, and they're going to play more elves. So then that means they'll have blockers. We really want to use Goblin Diplomats to make it so that somebody swings in with everything and doesn't have any unblocked creatures, so that we can try to get Krinko to be like super powerful, basically. Let me think about this. Because we do want to attack the elves. Maybe we'll hold off. We'll see if we can get... We need... Well, I guess... Yeah, that's a little bit tricky. Let's go ahead and tap Goblin Diplomats. We'll try to force the elves to attack if they can. Okay. That was at the beginning of the upkeep. Let's draw a card. Elvish Visionary. Not too shabby. We will go ahead and play this. Let's go and pay 2. We will play Elvish Visionary. We get 2 triggers. We get Dwarf Destinies, and we also draw a card. So Elvish Ranger, not too bad. But we need to do 1, 2, 3. That's untapping this land, retapping it. Elvish Archdruid, which gets another counter, and also by itself adds +1/+1. So elves are already getting +3/+3 from from the nastiness that's right here. So we will pass the turn because that's enough damage for 1 turn. Maybe the goblins will have to draw like artifact removal. That'll help. Or this deck over here. So untap, draw a card, deploy to the front. That is a card, that's for sure. So let's go and play Seagate Wreckage. We will pay 4 to play Audric. So we don't really have like a lot else that we can do, unfortunately. We do have... We want to hold off on something like Comeuppance until we can just really devastate somebody. Like they try to all-out attack. It's like it'll be our like last second hurrah to try to eliminate a player from the game using their own stuff, basically. Elvis the Blinding Blade. Okay, well, that's not helpful. And we're actually stuck now. There's nothing... We don't have, like, anything that we can do with this. We needed to draw... We need to keep drawing lands, and instead we're drawing cards that have, like, a bajillion mana, so that's unfortunate. Bloodghast is going to attack. Well, actually, does it... I guess we'll just hold off, because it doesn't really matter. Matter. Okay. Goblin-y turn. Untap. So our plan to force attacks did not work as planned. That's okay. We will make do. And to begin, we are going to pay 2 and we'll play Bloodmark Mentor. So now, red creatures, we control a first strike. That is always going to be good. Now let's see. So, Krinko is going to have... Let's see. +2/+0. It's going to have 4 power when he attacks. That's not quite enough to do stuff to the elves over there, because the elves are already, like, super strong. Oof. Like, that Visionary is a 4/4, is what I mean. So we can't really do anything about that. We really need Goblin King and Sulfuric. Well, we need Goblin King. Goblin Matron would be nice. Let me think about this. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to have Krinko attack the demons, and these two goblins are going to attack the soldier deck. And when I do that, this is going to get a counter. We get 4 goblins. 4 free goblins. Because of Krinko's ability. And I think that... So let's see about this. I think that on the soldier side... Let's go and look at the life totals. I have them up, so... The demons are going to take the damage. They can't do anything about that. So they're going to lose 4 life and also take 4 commander damage. And this is +1. And this is +1. The soldiers are going to block with Palace Guard, and it's a 1/4. So they're going to absorb 3 of the damage from the goblins. And actually, that's going to kill off one. That's going to kill off the goblin that they blocked with, or that they blocked with Palace Guard. And but the other goblin gets through and deals 3 damage. So, yeah, that looks good. After that, we will pass. So now we have just... We don't necessarily have quite the firepower that the elves do, but the elves are really going to have to step up their game to out-damage us. You know, like, each individual elf will be stronger than a goblin, but we just sprayed out basically 12 damage with just by attacking once. So that's going to go really, really far. Okay. Draw a card. Viridian Joiner. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ho ho ho. More mana. Let's see. How much can we actually like play everything in our hand? I think we might be able to. So let's go ahead and tap 4. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to put this up to 4. Then we are going to tap this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. At least I think so. Yeah, 5 mana. Oh, and we were supposed to search our library for basic land card and put it into our hand. So let's go and do that real quick. Shuffle our library. Okay, there we go. Whatever this card is, go down there somewhere. I don't know what you were, but you're now at the bottom. Okay, this is in our hand, and we added 5 mana. We'll use 3 of it to play Viridian Joiner. That puts us up to 6. And we have 2 left over, so we'll tap 1 more, and we will play Azuri Renegade Leader, and this will be up to 6. So next turn, we're potentially killing players. Which is sweet. We could attack, I guess, but I think I want to... Do we want to attack? I mean, they're just gonna... They would just block with goblins. Maybe we do attack, because, I mean, these guys are, like, super big now. This is 7/7. And, well, no, because the stupid goblins can double block and kill our elves, and that really hurts us because of Elvish Archdruid. So we're gonna hang off of that. Let's see here. So we have this. Untap, draw. Nope. Don't do that. Draw. Field Marshal. Okay. Well, that is a card that does things, I think. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do Field Marshal. So at least we get, like, some first strike and a +1/+1. So it's not it's not a Door of Destinies, but it is at least decent. And it powers up our Nykthos Shrine to Nyx a bit, which will help. But that's all we can do, unfortunately. Draw a card, and of course, another big card instead of just a single land. That's all I freaking need is a land. Because I really don't want to use up the I don't want to use up the Dark Ritual, but we're getting to the point where I need to at least start considering maybe that's what I need to do. Just so that maybe I can get Bloodgift Demon out and do something. For now, though, I think that I'm going to discard a card. I'll discard Obnixilis the Fallen. This is just this ended up being a bad hand. It didn't start out as a bad hand, but it became a bad hand. Oh, I need to say that Azuri got cast a single time. There we go. Okay, Goblins. I also should have forced an attack. I am a big old dummy. Let's see. Let's go and play that mountain. We should really try to get rid of the Door of Destinies. That would solve a lot of problems here. So let's go ahead and pay 3. We'll play Goblin Matron. We need to find something, a goblin that, like, can help us destroy stuff. For cheap. Is what I should say. Oh, I think that's probably it, but we need to see if there's one that's, like, that we can do with 2 mana. Because it's just a goblin. Yeah. Boop doo 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 doo. There's so many good goblins that I would rather be able to play, but unfortunately no. Okay, yeah, that's going to have to be it, which is fine. I mean, there's other ones that destroy artifacts. There's like one other one that I have that destroys an artifact, but it's going to end up being smarter to do this one instead. And thankfully, with Goblin Matron, it goes directly into our hand. So next turn, we will be casting it, for sure. Okay, put that into our hand. We can't really play anything else, so we're just going to attack. And I think that we just want to attack with Krenko this turn. Because if we get enough goblins out, then we can just smash somebody. So, demons, you are taking... This is going up 1. So that is 5 damage. And we get 5 goblins. Lots of goblins. Okay, that's all that we can do in a turn. And we are passing. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, elves. You're going to have to step up your game. There's a lot of goblins out there. They can deal a lot of damage because they have first strike. Untap. Untap. Upkeep. Draw a card. What is it? A forest. So very not helpful at all. Okay, that's okay though. Yeah, so let's see. How many activations can we get with what we have? Because unfortunately, this guy isn't isn't effective anymore. The Door of Destinies goes very far. Okay. So we need 5 mana to activate that. Elvish Archdruid. Let's see how much mana that we can activate if we activate everything. So, unfortunately, I don't have the green dice, the green dice in here very handy, so we'll just have to make do with just random dice here. Let's see. Grab some of these. Okay, so Elvish Archdruid is adding 7 mana to our mana pool. There we go. No, this 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, Viridian Joiner is adding 1, 6 mana. And we have 6 lands. So the lands aren't going to change for sure. But Viridian Joiners will change just slightly because we could activate Elvish Archdruid once. We could do that. So let's take away this. So that's 1 activation. We have 2 floating here, but let's see. If we tap 5 here, this goes down to 1, and we get a second activation. We still have... Oh, this needs to be 2. So we still have 2 here, 1 here, 1 here. Let me think about this. Not enough. Okay, so this is tapped. Viridian Joiner is going to tap, and it has an additional +2 or +4/+4 because it has 2 different activations. So this is actually up to here. Let me see, 1. Oh wait, no, 7. It was actually supposed to be. Let me see. I want an orange dice. Give me a second. There we go. Okay, so it was actually an additional 1. It was actually here. But then we got 2 activations out of this, so it goes up to this. Because no, +3/+3, jeez. I need to actually count. So this goes up to 4 on 1 activation, and then it's going to go up 1 more after that. So 3 more, that's 2, 3 here. Okay, this is how much mana we have left to activate Azuri with. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1 more activation. We said 2. This goes up to 3. Then here we just have 2 more activations from there. So that is what we're at. There we go. Now we got it figured out. Okay, so 5 activations of Azuri. So each of my creatures are getting +15/+15 and trample. Seems pretty good. Let's see, but we do have 2 floating mana after that. So let me think about... Azuri himself may actually die in this attack, but I think we want to go ahead and just ram as much damage through this turn as we can onto the goblins, even if they have first strike. So let's go ahead and say we'll use the 2 floating mana that we have left, because it was 12 mana, because we had 2 dice of 6. And we used 10 of that because of the activation cost. So let's go ahead and say Arbor Elf and... I don't know, Pendlehaven. Let's say those 2 are the ones that we're going to we'll give a regeneration shield to, essentially. So let's go ahead and attack. Let's go like this. Let's see here. So the goblins, let's go and turn the table a little bit so we can see the goblins, see their board state a little bit. Move this out of the way. Here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 goblins. So because of trample, it doesn't make much... It doesn't really matter how we block here, because it's basically just raw attack. We need to get in raw attack and kill off a couple of creatures if we can. And then with first strike damage, and then we just basically take whatever's left over, which is unfortunate. So let's see. Izuri seems like the creature that we want to kill the most. Izuri is currently... He's currently a 13/13 because of Elvish Archdruid. So it's 2 power plus Elvish Archdruid, so that's 3. And then it's plus 10, so 13. So let's see here. 13, and 4 of these is 12, so 5 of these is 15. So that takes out Izuri, at least. And then another 5 is probably going to be needed to fully block another elf. So let's say Elvish Visionary is the one that we're going to block, because the rest of them is basically the same power and toughness. And then let's see, do we hold one of these back and we block 2 more? And it won't really matter how we block with those other 2. So these 10 goblins are actually going to survive, because they're going to block in 2 different groups to kill off 2 creatures, which is Izuri and Elvish Visionary. They're going to die during the first strike. Now, the rest of these are going to go through. There's only 2 toughness, so let's see. We have 10 power coming from each creature due to Izuri's activation, so that's 30 damage. Then 33, it goes up to 33 because of Elvish Archdruid. And then another 3 on that. So it's 36 minus 2. So 34 damage to the elves. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Because oh, yeah, here's the goblins. So I said 34. Hey, LW, how's it going? We're just getting the game kind of ramped up here. It just got a little scary with an attack from elves that dealt a ton of damage, as you probably just saw. The elves almost took out the goblins in one swing here, mainly due to our friendly Door of Destinies. So that's actually just to keep track. Do you play Magic at all? Let's go ahead and move to the next group. That's pretty much the whole turn. I mean, next turn will be another crazy attack, but they may not be able to do it. You play a bit. Do you play paper, or do you play like Arena or something like that? Untap. So I think from here on out, we need to be careful about using our mana for the soldiers, because we do have comeuppance to help us. Let's see. Yeah, comeuppance is going to be really good for this. But we need to make sure that we have enough mana for it. So unfortunately, I think we're actually going to just... Do we just pass the turn? I think so. I think we just pass the turn. Okay. Yeah, I prefer paper as well. That's why I'm here. Why I do this, because I like playing paper cards and pretty much exclusively Commander. Let's see. What is this? Swamp. Well, we did need a swamp here. Let's go ahead and pay 5. Yes. We'll go ahead and play Archfiend of Depravity. That'll help clear the board a bit if we don't just outright die. We will pass the turn. I suppose we could attack with Bloodghast, but it'll be okay. Okay, goblins are getting to go. Let's untap. Upkeep, draw. They are at 4 life, which is not looking good from... The demons can hit us for one attack and kill us. But the same could be said about the elves, which is unfortunate. Well, I think we do need to do Goblin Trashmaster. It makes the most sense because it gives +1/+1. Oh yeah, these 2 goblins are actually dead. They're done. They died in the attack to try to block some damage. The elves are a lot less scary if they don't have their... You played a game this past Friday? That's nice. What did you play, and what were you up against? It's been a while since I played a game with somebody else, but I get games in when I can. I've been kind of tempted to... the game store that's nearby, there's a group that meets, but the person in charge of the shop claims that he doesn't know when they meet, which is crazy, but it means basically just showing up and seeing if somebody else shows up at some point. The elves are a lot less scary if we can get rid of the Door of Destinies, which is something that we can do now, but we're still 1 attack away from dying from the demons, and we need enough blockers to stop the elves from annihilating us. How much? Let's see. That's good. That sounds like it was a little on the competitive side. I'm just Omnath, Gishath, and Tovalar, which if I remember correctly, let me do something. Let me do this. Oh, okay. This is a new card. I was thinking that there was a mono black guy who starts with a T name, but I can't think of his name right now. Let's see. Draw a card. Oh, okay. Well, what is his backside? Well, it's not. I suppose it's not too bad. That's a little bit better than the last legendary that they made, but I haven't seen this one yet, so let's go and take that off. Werewolf Tribal is... Well, I guess that card could be pretty good. With the right build, you can make it pretty good. But probably not as competitive as I was thinking, especially when it's... I mean, Gishath is the one that kind of made me think that initially, but... Okay. It's been a little bit since I built a budget deck. I used to build a lot of budget decks. In fact, the last time, let's see, there was a group that I used to play with, and they wanted to do a week of budget casual decks, and I didn't realize that they weren't building quite as rough as I was expecting, because generally they play a little rough. Like, not highly competitive, but like somewhere in the, like, I don't know, I don't like the just like there's competitive EDH, and then there are competitive Commander, and like just below that there's still kind of a hyper competitive level that's not quite the most broken stuff in the format. They played just underneath that, or they generally did, so that's what I brought, and I ended up winning every single game. It was not it did not go, or it was not entirely intended, but when they were like, yeah, budget deck, and I was like, okay, here's a, you know, like a $20-$30 what is it, Winota, there you go, Winota Joiner of Forces deck that's like all allies, I mean, all the humans are all allies. I just in like 4 turns destroyed everybody, and I felt a little bad about it. I was expecting. I built kind of crappy budget tribal decks. Yeah, they could be really good. So I built Winota, join our forces, and I also built. There's another one that has a really similar name. Let's see. Sonoda, actually? No. Siona. That's what it is. Let me go ahead and bring her up. Card counter. Yeah, her. So Siona, Captain of the Pyles. Pyleus, I think is maybe correct. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, that one also ended up being really, really good. But the two other ones that I brought were a little bit better. They just were a little less good as that, but they were still good enough to take down what they were playing. So it was quite unfortunate. But I have built budget decks that aren't quite as mean spirited. Let's say when I try to build budget, I try to build it so at least it can hold its own, right? I want it to be able to function as a deck. And it's very clear that if you move away from like commanders that are obviously just absolutely busted. I mean, Siona, Captain of the Pyles, has like 2 or 3 budget infinite combos. I'm like, before that game started, I think I pulled one of them out because I was like, they are not going to be able to stop me if I play this. Anyway, let's see. So actually, I want to look at the life totals. I meant to do that. So the demons, 31 damage. They can block one of these goblins. I don't think there's any way that I get out of this because I would need to like basically be able to block all of the elf stuff and simultaneously kill the demons. And I don't think I can do both. I think I'm trapped a little bit here. Yeah. When it comes to budget builds, and if you're trying to make them stand up against decks that have no budget, then you kind of have to include that stuff in, because otherwise you sit down at the table and there's a good chance you lose because of things like counter spells. And like both Siona and Winota Join Our Forces are both that way, where they, if left to their own devices for even a couple of turns, they will take over. But it only takes like 1 or 2 cards. Like with Winota Join Our Forces, it's like 1 Wrath effect, and she's essentially out of the game. And that's just kind of how it works. It's very glass cannon. And Siona has the ability to, like recover and still make a really good presence, but it's just not going to be necessarily as strong as what other people can do when they don't have to worry about a budget. So Squirrel Tribal will be fun. I'm trying to think, is it going to be what is it? There's the like indestructible squirrel that's a legendary creature. Is that going to be the commander? So let's see. These are actually all attacking for 4 power now. So this is 20 damage here. This is 40 damage. So that is technically enough to take out the demons. Chatterfang. Oh, okay. Yeah, this came out just, I think, after I stopped buying new cards. That should be pretty decent. I mean, the commander itself is pretty expensive, but you could still make a decent budget deck with it. Okay, so we can take out either the elves or the demons, but we don't have any blockers for the demons. So I think we're kind of resigned to attacking making sure that we deal enough damage to the demon deck to kill them, and then just try to hope that the elves don't get enough mana to block us. And I mean to overpower us, because they're going to be able to. They almost certainly will be able to get trampled next turn. Like maybe one activation. I think that's where I can't do anything about it. So I think that, let's see, we need these 5 for sure. Let's see, because this is 20 damage right there. So 28, 1 for the blocker, and 1 more. Okay. So then this goblin and Krinka will attack the elves, because this should be enough. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 32 damage. That's just enough to kill the demon deck. This goblin gets blocked, so we'll sacrifice it using Goblin Trashmaster to destroy the Door of Destinies, and we also get an activation from Krinko, which I haven't forgotten. So Krinko gets a +1/+1 counter, and then he makes a bunch of goblins. So let's see how many goblins he makes. These 2 are attacking. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's going to make 7 more goblins. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at least there's a lot here. But I'm afraid that that's not going to be enough. I guess we'll find out. I guess we also didn't necessarily have to attack with this other goblin. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we just leave off that 1 attack and see where it goes. Okay, so combat. The demon deck is going to take 32 damage. And then the elves need to take, I said 7, so 7 damage over here. There. Yeah, that looks good. I think that's good. Okay. Goblin time. Oh, wait, did we have anything else to play? No, not really. Okay. Well, I guess we're not playing Sulfuric Vortex now. So many goblins. All of the goblins. If they can manage to get past this turn, they may be able to take it. Like, actually win the game, but who knows. Okay, untap. Upkeep. Draw a card. Gravity Well. Not a card I wanted to see. Actually, do we want to... No, because we do want to try to power the Azuri Renegade Leader out if we can. So we do need to pay 5 mana for it, so there's the 5 mana for Azuri. Then... let's think about this. I think that becomes 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, that is enough for 1 activation with a floating mana. So we're going to put a counter right there to remind us how many times we've activated. So Viridian Joiner could tap for 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. We have 1 floating. So we could get 1 more activation. That actually might be useful. Let me think about this. Yep. The elves would be doing the same thing, but the Door of Destiny's getting destroyed actually really hurt us. Let me think about this. So, Viridian Joiner. Let me think. Sorry, I'm thinking about this. This was 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. We have 1 floating, so we do get 1 more activation out of it, but +4/+4 and trample isn't, or no, wait. It's +6/+6 and trample. Unfortunately, those goblins are actually very, very strong. And they are 2 toughness, not 1. Ick. Ick and or ook. If we did that. That is just not great. Because each of the goblins are 4 power. So they can just 2 of them can first strike kill one of our creatures. And they have 7 goblins that have this. So I think actually we maybe just have to hold off. I guess that doesn't sound good, but I don't know what else to do here. So I think I'm going to have to hold off until we can get another card. At least I have Regenerate. So that'll help a little bit. I can essentially Azuri or Elvish Archdruid and Azuri Renegade Leader and recover all of that stuff. So okay, going over here, draw a card. Order of the White Clay. Not really what I was wanting to see. I was hoping for another land, honestly. Because this is enough to do something, to be able to do the comeuppance. But that doesn't leave me enough mana to cast anything in our hand. And we definitely need that to happen. I do like that Order of the White Clay can bring back Palace Guard if we need to. And I would like to get up to deploy to the front. That's the other thing that I have in my hand, to be able to get a ton of creatures out all at once. Man, I kind of have to hold off because Comeuppance is just too strong of a card to not be able to cast when I need to be able to cast it. So we're going to have to hold off. Now, the Demon deck, unfortunately, is the next card a land. It's Pestilence, which kind of helps, but not quite enough. Okay. Goodbye, Goblin. Or Demons. Poor Demons. They be done. They be the dead. Let's go ahead and get their little case out here. So, do you have any other decks? Yeah, RIP Demons. Do you have any other, like, do you have a favorite deck that you like to play? Or maybe a favorite color combination? Let's untap. And untap all of the goblins. So many goblins. Draw a card. Mountain. Okay, well, I'm still just going to play this Goblin King. And we don't really have anything else to do but just heavily attack somebody. So let's see. With the elves, if we do 1, 2, let's see. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures out, so that covers that. But then we have all of these other goblins. So many goblins. Is a little bit mean. I built a mean deck on stream a while back. It's been a while since I built a mean deck. But let's look at Toxrill. There you go. I don't know a lot of the new stuff. Like it, kind of like I said, I actually don't really play with any new cards. I play with a bunch of old cards, basically. Anything from before, anything after, I should say, anything after Kaldheim, I don't have any. I don't have a single card of, and I don't really intend to. Let's see. At the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter. And then whenever a creature with a slime counter dies, create a 1/1 black slug. Interesting. And then sacrifice a slug to draw a card. Yeah, I could see how that could end up being pretty mean after a while. No, that's fine. I mean, I've been playing for a long time. That's exactly it. So, let's see. These goblins are the ones getting blocked by elves. The elves have 35 life, is that correct? 28. Oof. So, let's see. We just need 7. 7 goblins are the ones that are going to be able to get through and defeat the elves. I think so. So that's exactly enough to beat them. And now I need to figure out about Krinko. So Krinko is actually pretty strong now. He's 7 toughness. There's not enough power on the opposite side of the board to be able to stop that. So we are going to attack with that. And probably these 3 goblins as well. We don't need to actually attack with those 3 goblins. We can just hold them back. So when this attacks, this goes up by 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 goblins. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do this, and that means 12. Put 12 here. Let's see here. 12. Yeah, that's kind of how a lot of cards... There can be a lot of cards that way, and I have a lot of commanders that way. The mean deck that I built was... Let's see. Oh, come on. I'm trying to get Scryfall to help me here. No, this is what I want. Turn it on. That's one. It's a partner commander, so it's that guy. So 0 cost 0, 1, first strike, menace, trample. And then the other one is... Oh, crap. What is his name? Not Torvald. Here we go. Tevesh. This is the other one. And the reason it's mean is just because it's really easy to... Well, basically it becomes on turn 5. You can power out your commander with, like black ritual and other ritual cards to get Tevesh out really quickly, like within the first few turns, really. And once he comes out, you can you can do his middle ability as +1 and play Rogue Rack from your command zone and immediately sacrifice it to Tevesh to draw 3 cards. So you basically you play a bunch of artifacts and ritual spells to get Tevesh out, and then you immediately replenish your hand by drawing 3 cards, and you can essentially just keep doing that whenever you want to, because the commander tax on a 0 cost card is nothing. Tevesh also essentially protects himself with his first ability, and then additionally, like both Tevesh and Rogue Rock can be forces unto their own, because Tevesh can be a win condition by stealing everybody else's commanders and just killing everybody with them. But Rogue Rock being able to have, with his menace ability, goes really far. Like that one ability helps out a lot, and just like a couple of equipment and Rogue Rack goes crazy. But otherwise, you basically just draw a bunch of cards and lock everybody's mana down, and then win the game. I think Black-Red has a lot of... the other thing about Black-Red being that it has a lot of really good control elements by... with like you can combine hand disruption with creature destruction, and then add to it a little bit of mana restriction, like smokestack and stuff like that. It becomes very difficult to fight through, and with the ability to have essentially a draw 3 in your command zone whenever you need it, helps out a ton. It's one of the, like, Rakdos color combination is held down a lot by card draw and needing to get... It's like really thirsty for card draw. So having a draw engine in your command zone is incredible. Okay, so we have 12 here. This is going to attack. They're probably just going... There's just so many goblins out. They want to be able to attack. We want to use comeuppance to deal all the damage at once. So I think we're going to block with Palace Guard just to fog this one attack from Krenko. And then, let's see, the elves are going to block these, but these all have first strike. So I guess, yeah, the elves could try to push through some damage, but I don't know. I don't know that it, like, to kill off some of the goblins, but I don't think it really matters, so I think the elves are just going to take all the damage and die. Let's see. Yeah, so I built that Tevesh Rugrak deck on stream and then played it on another stream later on. It's pretty good. It's not perfect. It has it needs a lot of work, but it's still pretty darn strong. So you said you like Dimir. The first budget deck that I built was actually a Dimir deck. It used Drolnu, which is... Let's go ahead and pull him up real quick. In case you are unfamiliar with him. Let's do this. There you go, Drolnu, 5 cost, 3/3. If damage would be dealt to him, you sacrifice that many permanents instead, and then you can give any instant or sorcery in your graveyard flashback. It actually still works really well. It does have trouble with new cards, like going up against new cards, because at the time it came out, it was honestly really good. And there's definitely a lot of instants and sorceries that are still pretty darn good, but it's a matter of there's just so much direct damage in commander games now that you can you can play Drolnu and if you don't have the ability to counterspell the right card that comes out, like that somebody plays right after you play Drolnu, then you can be out of the game for the rest of the game. So that's not very fun sometimes. Interesting. That doesn't really help me, though. I really needed mana, is the thing. I needed the mana. That's what I wanted to see. So I think we're discarding a card. We're holding off because there's not much else we can do other than just hope they attack with everything and then try to blow them out a little bit with comeuppance. It would be nice if we just drew a Wrath effect. That would be the thing that would make this a lot better, because essentially the goblins don't have to attack with everything. They can just attack with more goblins. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we need 2 more die. I'm trying to get the other orange dice here. We need 1 more, so I'm sure there's another orange dice there. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this. Yeah, the humans are struggling a little bit. There are times when basically each of these decks has the ability to have really kind of blowout games. But then other times they just kind of flop around a bit, and continuing to not draw mana is hurting them a lot. What is this? What is this card? Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and play Pin and Blade and equip it to Krenko, and now we're just going to deal some ridiculous amount of damage and make a ridiculous amount of goblins. So, let's see. Yes, so I think that actually is game, because we can, let's say we attack with like 12 of these goblins. That is probably enough to kill the humans. Let's see, life total. The elves took 28 damage. I didn't mark that. Let's go ahead and do that here. Take them out. Okay. Let's see, 37. Krinko's attacking. They're going to block that. They're going to block one of these, so that means that we have 11 of them. 11 and 4, so 44 damage. So that is enough to kill them. So we can leave all of these goblins untapped that way. And we also create another set of goblins here just from attacking, because this happens when we attack. Yeah, so this is going to go up to 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then that's 10 by itself. Hang on. Do you think this is enough dice? I think this might not be enough dice right here. So we get 10 goblins from that, but we need to figure out how much extra +1/+1 they get. So +1/+1 for each creature, each creature. Okay, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 28, 29. So another one of these and this. So 39 goblin tokens are created. Okay. So what that means is we're going to tap this. That's actually... Oh, wait. This was switch. I killed the wrong one. Hang on. That's the one that's out. This is not. Okay, so we're going to pay 4, and we're going to play Comeuppance. So each of those creatures are going to deal damage. All damage is prevented, and they're going to deal their damage back to themselves. So that is going to kill Krinko. And that's going to kill all of these goblins. And we survive one more turn. And I say that is just one turn. Let's see. Let's get rid of this life total thing here. Okay. Come on, humans. Just need a wrath effect. That's all. That's literally all you need is just a wrath effect, and that may be good game. Come on, wrath. And that's not a wrath. This isn't looking very good. Yeah. There's honestly nothing I can really do. Because I can't even play some of the cards in my hand. Let's think about this. I mean, technically speaking, we can do this 3. We can play Aura of Silence and use it to destroy Pen and Blade, but that's really all. That's not really enough. Yeah. I guess we can play one more creature and then lose the game. That's still a lot of goblins. Oh, okay. Well, that was definitely a game, for sure. How far away were we from a Wrath Effect? That's a good question. No. Yeah, no. Nope. Far, far away. Very far away. So far away. Retribution of the Meek. Like 15 cards down. Yikes. Well, I swear that there's more than one Wrath Effect in this human deck. Alright. I think that I'm probably going to call it a day here. Would be the most value Wrath on the planet, yeah. Oh, this was supposed to go in there. That's fine. Right there. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day. Thank you for keeping me company, LW. I'm glad to meet you. Like I said, I'm going to try to stream again. Let's see. I'm going to try to shoot for Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday or Thursday, basically. It's more in an evening time because I work during the day. So it may be a little later, but yeah, I'm going to be trying to play again. These decks are... These decks are meant to be more like beginner decks. They're not meant to be much more than just throw creatures on the battlefield and attack kind of stuff. Because it's meant to be teaching how to play Magic, basically. So I play those on Sunday, but on other days I actually play legitimate decks. Decks that have a little bit more to go to go with them. I'm trying to remember what the last game that I played. Hang on, I may be able to look that up. The last game that I played on a Wednesday, Thursday. I had to miss a couple of weeks, so. Well, hang on a second. Wait. Oh, crap. Darn it. YouTube is causing me trouble. Hang on. Oh, okay. The last Thursday that I played, I did a chaos stream. At least the one that I have up on YouTube. It was a chaos stream, like a planes chase. I did planes chase cards and 4 different Jeskai decks. So it was like Jeskai Dragon Tribal, Jeskai Cycling, Jeskai, what is it? Jeskai Budget Planeswalkers. How's that for a combination? A budget Planeswalker deck in red, blue, and white. And then the final one was a mutate deck that had Vadrock. There you go. So yeah, I do kind of bizarre combinations whenever I play on Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, I have 5 different mutate decks, I think. Maybe. It's something like that. Let me think. Volrath, Vadrock, Nethroy. What is the other ones? My brain is freezing. There's a few of them, so let me think about that. Yeah, anyway. Okay. I'm going to call it a day. Thank you for joining in, though. And I will see you guys next time. I don't have anybody to raid, so I'm just probably going to end the stream. But have a great week.